Good afternoon. Signal number 1 is raised in several areas of Luzon as Crising maintains its trend, turning north-northwestward over the sea east of Catanduanes. Based on Pagasa's 11 a.m. bulletin on Thursday, July 17, the center of Crising was last spotted 520 kilometers east-northeast of Puban, Sorsogon, or 470 kilometers east-northeast of Virac, Catanduanes. It carries maximum sustained winds of 55 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 70 kilometers per hour. Crising is moving north-northwestward at 25 kilometers per hour. Signal number 1 is raised in several areas of Luzon, including the southern portion of Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Quirino, the northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, the northern portion of Aurora, Apayao, and Abra. Signal number 1 is also raised in Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Ilocos Norte, the northern portion of Ilocos Sur, and the northern and eastern portions of Catanduanes. Areas under signal number 1 are expected to experience very light or no damage to low-risk structures and light damage to medium to high-risk structures. Crising is forecast to reach tropical storm category on Thursday. It is forecast to continue intensifying over the Philippine Sea and may reach severe tropical storm category on Friday afternoon or evening, July 18, before its approach to northern Luzon. Crising is forecast to exit the Philippine area of responsibility by Saturday evening, July 19, or Sunday morning, July 20. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's legal counsel formally asked the International Criminal Court's Pretrial Chamber 1 to hold an urgent status conference with parties to the case. In a copy of the defense's request dated July 15, Duterte's legal counsel Nicholas Kaufman said the purpose of the status conference would be to determine the most efficient way to proceed with matters related to the case. Kaufman also said the status conference would assess whether it remains feasible to maintain the current schedule for the hearing on the confirmation of charges, citing delays. Kaufman urged the pretrial chamber to hold the status conference on or before July 25. According to Kaufman, the pretrial chambers should make full use of the possibility to hold status conferences with the parties. He said that discussing oral orders and clarifications in relation to the conduct of the proceedings increases efficiency and eliminates the need for cumbersome written decisions. Kaufman added that the parties' procedural requests can also be received, debated, and decided at status conferences. The document contains redacted points, but it repeatedly cited supposed delays in the case of Duterte. Former President Duterte is currently under the custody of ICC at The Hague, Netherlands, for crimes against humanity he allegedly committed during his administration's war on drugs. He initially appeared before the Chamber's initial hearing on March 14. At present, the Chamber has provisionally scheduled the hearing on the confirmation of charges against former President Duterte on September 23, 2025. Chinese Coast Guard and People's Liberation Army Navy vessels were sighted before the start of the maritime drills between the Philippines and the United States in the waters of Zambales. The Philippine Navy spotted Chinese Coast Guard 4203, People's Liberation Army Navy vessels 646 and 551 within the Philippines Exclusive Economic Zone near warship BRP Miguel Malvar as early as 7 a.m. on Wednesday, July 16. Jiangkai-class People's Liberation Army Navy warship 551 came closest to BRP Miguel Malvar at an estimated distance of 3 to 4 nautical miles. BRP Miguel Malvar Operations Officer Lieutenant Commander Brian Magura says the vessels were just in the area and they did not have any unusual activity. Magura states the vessels did not engage in any activity that would interfere with the conduct of the maritime cooperation activity. He adds that China has typically shown the same behavior during past exercises. Meanwhile, the Philippine Coast Guard radio challenged the 551 vessel that came close to the Philippine and U.S. assets. The presence of the Chinese ships comes amid the 8th iteration of the Philippines and United States maritime cooperation activity held in the waters of the province of Zambales. The allied nations have conducted maritime cooperation activities 8 times since 2022 to strengthen interoperability and maritime cooperation. The Maritime Cooperation Activity Series is part of efforts to enhance maritime security, improve coordination between forces, and demonstrate the Allies' shared commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The 8th Filipino seafarers of the ill-fated MV Eternity Sea, which was attacked by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea, have arrived back in Manila. The Department of Migrant Workers says the 8 seafarers arrived on Wednesday night, July 16, at NAIA Terminal 1 in Pasay City. The agency adds the seafarers were provided with immediate assistance and support prior to their return in Manila. According to the agency, all of the seafarers will receive financial assistance from the government. The seafarers will also receive medical care from the Department of Health and comprehensive reintegration support from TESDA. The seafarers were among the 21 Filipino crew members on board the MV Eternity Sea. According to reports, the MV Eternity Sea sank in the Red Sea after repeated attacks from Yemen-based Houthi militants using sea drones and rocket-propelled grenades. The bulk carrier was sailing under the flag of Liberia, carrying 22 crew members. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.